it's objective what each conversation, the value of it is, right? So it'd be hard to argue, do you want Korean food? And having that being a deeper conversation, right? But every single relationship is intricate, and maybe to somebody that's a big deal. They haven't eaten Korean food in 8 years because their dad killed somebody at a Korean restaurant.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
That is a pretty big deal. I think at that point though too.
And it wasn't somebody that worked there. It wasn't a hate crime.
It wasn't a hate crime. Okay.
It was another guy at a different table.
But he still can't go into Korean restaurants because whenever he does, he thinks about it.
Yeah.
But now he's finally gotten over this.
Right.
This obstacle.
Are you okay? So I'm gonna you're gonna be the guy whose dad did that, and then I'm gonna be me or his friend.
Okay, the friend. So you're the guy who now is you can't go into any Korean restaurants.
No, you can't, and I'm his
can't.
friend.
And you're the friend who's asking if I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first line is, I'm thinking about just list a few different kinds of food and have Korean in there.
Okay.
Okay, but just it's not a big deal.
Okay, so I'm suggesting
you're
food
like,
options to
okay, we could go to Subway. Maybe there's a Korean restaurant.
Okay. I'm getting pretty hungry.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty hungry.
Let's see. There's Chinese food.
Yeah, that's good.
There's Thai food. Maybe we could go for some sushi.
Wait, for the Thai food, are you talking about a nice restaurant where you have to dress up, or from Thailand?
I'm talking, somewhere close to one of the Asian countries, maybe.
Okay. Asian, cool.
Yeah, maybe like Chinese. I like Chinese food. It's really good.
Chinese food's great.
There's
No, it's nonchalant. It's supposed to be nonchalant.
I'm sorry. I just have the sniffles.
Oh, okay.
I'm having some issues here.
Do we need to get a rain check on this?
No.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
Maybe some Korean food.
Wow, you got some indigestion as well. Are you wanting to go to a Korean restaurant?
I'm fine with anything. Maybe something close to around there. I really like Korean food.
Okay, Giles, let's get Korean food, dude.
You want to get some Korean food?
Yeah, that's great.
That's all right. That's all right with me.
Okay,
I'm fine with that decision.
All right. Cool.
Do you want to order? Maybe go inside and just bring it.
No.
Bring it outside.
I really need to sit down and eat somewhere. I love the hospitality of the Koreans.
Maybe we could eat outside, maybe somewhere. It's a nice day outside, and
well, we're going for dinner. It's gonna be dark.
Oh.
So yeah, Giles, are you feeling uncomfortable about this?
No. I love Korean food.
Giles, did you by chance have a schizophrenic episode recently?
No, I'm fine.
So let me try 2 lines. Okay. One is, do you feel anxious? Or rewind, are you feeling anxious? See?
I think I'm feeling anxious.
See?
Something about Korean food. Food is making something happen.
Yeah, you got a Mark Zuckerberg thing going on. So let me just say, as a, I'm conflicted right now, because as a the conceiver of and the let's just say the director of that scene.
Oh, are we out of the scene now?
Yeah,
I was still
yeah.
in character. I was about to do a.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, no, we're out of the scene. We'll end it. Okay.
But as the person that set up the scene,
yeah,
you didn't do what I said. But as a improviser. I'm supposed to go along with whatever happens in the scene. You
Wait,
know?
were you meaning that? So what I thought is that, there's some instances where people don't want to share.
Yeah.
So I guess that person was too afraid to share their experience, but as it got deeper into it, asking about the anxiety, and he
Right.
slowly starts to admit maybe he's a little bit anxious to go to this restaurant,
Okay.
and some people maybe wouldn't want to bring it up, so they go around and they say, I like Asian food, maybe we could try some Chinese, some sushi, some
Right.
Thai food, and slowly
So
building up.
you thought you were doing what I said, or did you not?
I thought that's what you meant. I'm supposed to
Okay.
be somebody who's afraid to go to a Korean restaurant, and you have to entice out of me that I'm anxious about going to this Korean restaurant. Wait,
So basically, I said, say Korean like it's not a big deal.
pretend
That's what
like
I said,
I'm
yeah.
a good pretend like I'm good at
No, like
covering it
it's
up.
been 8 years. Maybe you're just ready. It doesn't have to be a big problem, but just I thought it was gonna be a back and forth like 3 times. I thought I was gonna just be like, because you just would have given the options, like Korean was just one of the random options you came up with, and then I was like, okay, are you wanting to go to a Korean restaurant versus do you want to go? And it was all of a. I think it worked out well. I'm not saying it was bad. I just was like, this is what I thought was going to happen. This is what was happening. And I was like, it wasn't illustrating my point, but it did at the end because I got a few. I got a few in there.
Like I think if there's any lesson to be taken away, it's like you don't know what people are gonna do. Like you could ask somebody, like how are you feeling about this, and they'd be like, fine.
Sure. You don't know what people are going to do.
Or it's like there's even certain social rules in a society where I think people they feel like they can't share too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to a sense, it does kind of make sense because honestly, imagine if when you ask somebody like, "Hey man, how's your day doing?" Like in a bank, just some random person, and someone's like, "It's good," like, right? But if someone was like, "Bad," and just bad, and just stared you down, and you'd be like, so what's wrong? And then in this bank, you're standing there and you have this whole entire like long conversation, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to get going.
You're
like,
a bank teller, or what is it?
You're just taking some cash out or something, right?
Some other customer comes in.
Yeah, some other customer, or maybe it makes sense even on a we're something that it's fast paced. You're trying to get out of there. You're shopping maybe, right? You're just buying some stuff in a store in the mall. And you got to buy it, you got to leave, you got an appointment at 1:00, right?
Yeah, and there's a limit of number of people that can go into the store, and there's a line outside.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a rush.
So it's a rush, and you're trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
And you're talking to this person, and you're like, oh, hey, how's it going, man? Oh, yeah, pretty good. How about you? Bad. Like that stare down moment where it's like...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's going on? And then he goes into the whole life story, and you're sitting there, and you're like society seems like it's not built or it's not set up to accommodate something like that. And I think people know this. So usually when people have an interaction like that, it's like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right, man. And it's like, okay. And then they go their separate ways because that's how it's kind of set up. And there's, to a sense, no matter what, you can't possibly function on that level, and no one would say bad because it's a weird thing to say. Like, for instance, I wouldn't want to put that on somebody else, like, and be like, I'm having a terrible day, like, bad, and like just the awkwardness that would like.
But what happens when you say
after
better? Like this guy yesterday said, I'm doing fantastic. It's sunny outside and there's big windows.
See, he probably means it, but I think you can tell because when someone's like, I think it's universally known.
It's good or better.
It's either good. I'm doing great, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing better, or I'm doing all right. And I think all right is the universal sign for bad because it means, listen, I'm not doing my greatest.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing just fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. People say okay.
Yeah, they say okay, and I think
fine. I'm doing fine.
Half of the time that means, they're not doing great. They're doing bad. Or sometimes they're not doing their best but they're trying and they don't want to impose upon you.
That's like
you
defeating the purpose,
question.
though. Like, it's really complex, and I didn't realize this at first. But I thought first you had to answer every question that somebody said, and I didn't understand the I don't know if it's syntax, but like it's just a function of our culture. Like other people kiss each other on the cheeks when they say hello, and we just say how's it going, and you don't have to fucking answer it. No. And you shouldn't. You can do whatever you want, and then just becoming aware of that kind of function, then you can play with it, and you can say I'm terrible as a joke and not even have to answer it. You can just bypass it. You can ask somebody a different question, like how many wontons do you think you can eat in a day? Like you could just say random stuff. You can just say I like your shoes. You can bypass it once you understand how the function works. And just so people know, you can say I'm good and then move on.
It's just interesting to me that like I think that it's an interesting question, isn't it? It feels like it's kind of loaded. And the person who it's something that is very normal to say, and I've said it before too, right?
You said what?
Like, oh, how's it going? Or like, hey, how are you? Or like, you know,
sure.
But like, it's such an interesting question because in a way, it's comfortable, right? It's a nice thing to ask, and I appreciate when people ask me it. But it's also loaded.
Do you think they're being sincere when they ask you?
I think maybe it's overused a bit, but I like it. I still like it. But I know that I'm gonna either there's three possible responses. I'm doing all right, okay. That's like in the same category, right? I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay.
But you could say I'm doing all right, man.
Like yeah. But it's all in the same category of like anything with all right or like I'm doing okay or like it's an all right day today, or there's good, like I'm doing good. I'm doing like fine. That's in the lower degree category, right? Then you have good, and then you have words along with great, right? And those are the three categories.
And then below that, it's all, people just ask me.
Hey man, how you doing? Oh, you're doing terrible. Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah.
It's like
I had a squirrel sucking my dick yesterday, and he bit off the tip, bro.
Ah, damn, man, you must be having a terrible day.
I hated that guy. Jesus, that was bad. But I tried.
Expressive in public.
But I tried. But yeah, but then there it's only for certain circumstances when that works. In a closer friendship, people might just be. I would come up to you and I'd be like, hey, and then you'd be like, hey, you know, like it just.
And there might be a deeper conversation between people who know each other well, right?
No, but what I just said was closer friends, because it's like, fuck this stuff that people do when they're at a certain type of relationship, and it's not good or bad, and sometimes it's acquaintances, and sometimes it's just different kind of relationships, you know. But like close friendships is like, hey, and they're like, hey, or they just don't even say anything. They just start doing what happens after you say, "What's up?"
That's
people
very
say, "What's
true.
up? What's good? How you doing?" And then sometimes the response is, "Say, ask me how you doing."
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing.
No, but then you wouldn't respond. You say, "How are you?" So it's just always asking the question.
Just a constant. Just how are you? How are you? Well, how are you?
No, like how's it going? Tell your mother I said hello.
I will do. Tell your mother that I'm here.
What's up, man? What's up?
Oh, I'm doing great, bro.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
Apparently,
how you doing?
Apparently, people in New Jersey do that.
I guess there's the how you doing.
15 minutes saying hello. And maybe they don't, because maybe New Jersey's not even a real state.
That would be surprising.
I've never been. Oh, maybe I've been there.